Hi there. Now, if you've ever studied leadership, even informally, one of the things you'll notice with the research and the publications and this kind of stuff is that these people like to describe a particular approach to leadership and give it a label, give it a name. And so you get transformational leadership and transactional leadership and situational leadership and servant leadership. You get the idea? Now, there's one particular, I'm not knocking those, we use ideas from all of those and they're great. But there is one particular approach to leadership that we're very enthusiastic about, and it kind of drives our approach to leadership, particularly when we're looking at leadership across a whole organization. And rather than explain it to you theoretically, I thought I'd give you an example. And there's two good things about this example. One is it's a good example. The other is that we didn't think of it. The group of people that I was working with a couple of weeks ago actually came up with this idea while we were going through it, which is kind of nice because it kind of fits with the idea of the model. Okay, so it was in a secondary school and I was running our Leading People program, which, if you remember, is for middle leaders. So in the case of a school, it's heads of department, deans, this kind of thing. And we're talking about the three areas that we look at. Leading yourself, because the people you lead have, rightly so, expectations about your performance and behavior and this kind of stuff. And then there's the leading others element. So we worked on a whole load of ideas and tools that we provide around leading people, motivation, all those kind of things, holding people accountable. And then we looked at the third area, which is leading the organization. And quite often middle leaders kind of go, what? Well, that's the senior leader's job. But once I started to kind of explore this with them and explain it, somebody asked a really good question. So this is them talking to me. And he said, so what you're saying is if you take something like, the senior leadership team is saying that there's some problems occurring because of an inconsistency in our approach to homework between different departments. And so they're going to create a kind of policy around this. According to you, Ian, he says, what we should be doing is we should be doing that because we do it. And we're in direct contact every day with the people who are applying it. And picking up on some of the theory from the other bits, they're saying if the bosses come up with it and fire it down, people's kind of almost instinctive reaction will be to resist it, to look for faults in it. If we do it, we're that much closer. We've got the relational leadership, it's called. And so it's easier for us to get that to stick. And plus, if we did it, we own it. So it's probably not going to work perfectly, but we can tweak it, we can alter it, we can work with that. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, they started looking at other areas that are issues across the school because, this team worked right across the school, that they could pretty much go to the boss and say, no, we'll do that. Or we think there's a problem with this, but we're going to address it. And in effect, what's happening there is the leadership is being distributed around the school, and that's why it's called distributive leadership. One of the biggest challenges with it, interestingly, is for the boss, for the senior leaders, because it's there's a whole lot of trust and everything else that goes on with it. And so that's why we like to run the programs with the senior leaders and then the middle leaders, and then if possible, the whole team. And so you get these key ideas running down through the whole organization. But it's a great example, and it would work across any organization. And if you want to have a conversation about it, then get in touch and we'll talk soon.